We have Ansley Smith tonight with us for the pledge. Wherever you have, is that microphone on? Yeah, that's good right there.
Attention, salute, touch. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, done a good job. All right. Next item on the agenda would be number 3, public input. No public input. All right. Next, approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve
We
the
have a
agenda?
couple of additions, Coach.
Huh?
We have a couple of additions.
Okay, let's hold off a minute.
We need to add 2 overnight field trips. They're somewhere.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you have those. So that is the Jefferson County High School cross-country team that left. Was that yesterday?
Yes, sir.
They left yesterday as they qualified as a team to compete in the state championship. So they're in Nashville.
Correct. They finished 11th today, and our top runner finished top 30.
There you go. So very good. And then we have the Jefferson County High School Choir that is last minute trip that they got invited to. So those 2 are, Mr. Rogers and myself have signed off on those and wanted to bring those to the board for your information.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make, can I make a change to the agenda, please? I'd like to make a change to the agenda.
Well, let's take care of this first.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was done.
So, no, we gotta vote on
Oh,
that, put
okay,
it on the
that's
agenda.
fine, that's fine.
So, we can do, on the agenda, as before, we have 2 options, we can all 100%, consent, unanimous consent, or if somebody objects, we vote on it, you understand? So by unanimous consent, is that okay to add these 2 to the consent agenda? Any objection? Okay, that takes care of that. Now then,
I would like to move the budget amendment section, number 7, behind the new business, because I think a lot of the votes that we're going to take in new business would affect the numbers that we would be voting on in the budget amendments. So I think we need to take the votes first to determine what numbers we're going to be voting on in the budget amendments. And if we approve the budget amendments before we take the vote, to me, that's putting the cart before the horse. So I would move that the budget amendments be moved behind the new business section. So we take it up after the new business section.
let me part of that just a second. So you want to move it with the document that says Jefferson County School Energy Project. You want it after that, correct?
I would like to take, A, B, and C in section 7, all right, and move it behind number 5 in section 9.
Okay. Under the heading, okay, I wasn't looking at this. All right. Unanimous consent, or is there an objection?
I opposed to it.
Okay, put it to a vote then.
I move that items A, B, and C in section 7, budget amendments, be moved behind section 9 and be taken up after number 5 in section 9.
So you want all three of those.
Yes.
I'll move down to number 5, under new business.
Yes.
So you're totally eliminating the budget amendments section.
Until after new business.
Gotcha. Everybody understand the motion? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to move items A, B, and C under the heading budget amendment to the section under new business, and that would be, number 6. Right, that's what you're saying. I'm below number 5, directors.
Yes. Yes.
So that would be item number 6, on the agenda.
Would then be the budget amendments, yes.
Okay. Now then, we've got a motion made and seconded. And is there any debate?
I got one, but I want to see if they want to go first before I do. Can I go? You want to ask?
Here, you've got the floor.
I want to look at you, I ain't commenting on, why is this a waiver to change this? I'd like to know why is this to me to move down here? I don't understand I want to know why. Why?
I see no reason, but that's,
But I want to know why, I gotta have an explanation before I vote.
Right, no, I understand. Well, do I have the floor, being that I made the motion, to explain why?
well, I'm sorry. You should have gone first.
That's what
I
I
do
was asking.
apologize.
Okay, no, that's
Sorry.
fine.
Right.
You know, because,
He made eye contact with me and I'm
no,
sorry.
I understand.
You got first bat.
Okay, the reason I want to do this is because,
Now that you've heard the question, you can answer.
yeah, that's right, exactly.
Done your favor.
Yeah, one of the reasons I want to do this is because, one of the motions is to, approve and move, 3 million some odd dollars, you know, for the energy project, all right? If we decide that we want to fund the, you know, like I would want to do, fund the entire energy project, that number's gonna change. So do you see what I'm saying? If, for example, right now, if we were to take Dr. Arnold's recommendation, we'd be moving about $3.1 million. If we go ahead and do the energy project as a whole, we would be moving $6-point-something million. All right, if we were to do Rush Strong, include Rush Strong in there, we would be moving $6 million. So I think we need to vote on that before we decide how much money we're going to move, which would change the budget amendment that we're voting on. All right, also, depending on how much money we move on the energy project, that will affect how much money we're talking about earmarking for the new school. Whereas right now, it's 9 million, all right? If we were to move more money for the energy project than the 3 million, that would affect how much money we would be moving for the new school. So my thought is, let's get that settled first, what numbers we're going to be voting on before we actually vote on it. That's the reason.
I will say this, since I seconded, I had the same concern. If you approve the budgets first, then you've got 9 million leaving fund balance and some other and then if you get down to the new business, it's only giving you one option here. If you do the stuff under the new business here, you know, the energy projects, and then funding of the elementary school, talking about that, then take up the budget amendments. That seems to be the logical progression there. And that way you'll know where everything's going. If you vote on those budget amendments first, you've only got so much room, you know, down here on how much the energy project could be, or how much, you know, whatever else. So that's the way I sort of see it.
If I may explain, If item amendment number 8 for Jeff Elementary School is approved as a budget amendment, and like the director mentioned earlier, then number 2, under new business, we just move on past that, because that issue's been settled. So there's no need, because by approving that budget amendment, then the money's there, and we don't do it a second time. Now then, the other one, number 7, is a $3.1 million. You'll notice under new business is the old, the previous, or the main motion for this project. It has a number at $11,820,141. Okay, that amendment of this main motion, something has to happen to it. That number did not get funded. That motion, though, is still on the floor. You have to dispose of it, you understand? You can't have two motions on it. So it would have to be amended to $8,394,000. It's just that one item. So if you do the budget amendment here, under budget amendment, then we know that we've got the $3.1 million, then we can amend this motion because we know what the number is.
Yeah, but if we wanted, some of us wanted to go for the whole $6 million and fund the whole $11 million that we originally voted on, then if we vote on those budget amendments first, that takes that away from us.
Well, you can vote against it there. You can vote against the $3.1 million. You can vote against here. You can vote against the funding of Jeff Elementary School by voting against the budget amendment. It's there. So you vote against, you vote no there, or you vote number 6. It's still a no vote as such. You know, it'll work either way. I'm just trying to explain to you why, particularly in this situation, with item number 1, that we know that we've approved the $3.1 million for the energy project, then we can amend the main motion. But we have to vote twice there. We have to vote on the amendment to take $11 million out and put $3.1 million in its place. Then we have to vote again on that main, it's a different motion, main motion now. So we have to vote on the main motion with the $8 million in it. I hope I got everybody confused, so I'm just, hope I'm not. But if you have any questions, you can ask me because I'm the chairman. I understand what you're saying, you know, it's just,
You want me to sum up, or is there anything, other
well,
comments, questions?
you got one more time.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Okay, you can use it now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, I like to know what I'm voting on, and if we're going to be discussing the energy project under new business, we're going to be discussing the motion, you know, and amending the motion. We're going to be discussing funding. I just think the logical thing would be to determine what numbers we're going to be dealing with before we deal with them in the budget amendments. And to me, I think that's logical. As long as we know when we go out of this meeting, what is, I don't know that it makes a whole lot of difference whether we talk about the numbers first and then talk about how we got to the numbers after, or talk about how we get to the numbers first, which is what I'm proposing, and then vote on the numbers that we've discussed.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this where the budget amendments have always been on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I got my one last one. I'm looking at the budget amendment for the $3,100,000. That's coming from 39,000 transfer out of $3,100,000. The next one is, out of the same one, 39000, unassigned fund balance, minus 9 million. I'm not good at math, but I think that's around $12,100,000 going out. And there's only 14 million in there. That leaves 2 million left. So once again, I'm saying, you vote on those budget amendments, it's limiting the path that you have to vote on everything in the new business down here. It's pretty much saying, you are going to have to accept only doing part of the schools with perfection. That's the way that's gonna be, and you're gonna say $9 million go to Jefferson Elementary and not be touched. So you got $2 million left in the fund balance. That's my whole thing right there, is it's limiting your options. Which if you move the budget amendments to after new business, well then the new business will take care of a lot of what goes on with the budget amendments.
If I may, one more time. Maybe two. I don't want to rule the motion out of order. But we have a policy that says what is placed where on the agenda. And the policy, if you want to look it up, it does not say budget amendments can be under new business in our policy, and I've not looked at it. I'm just relying on my memory, which is sketchy at best. But we voted on a format for our meeting and budget amendments, just like we got into when the tassels. We took action on a policy in the wrong place. And the next meeting, I had to go back and change. So on our agenda, in our policy, certain things have to be at certain places. Yes, sir.
Okay,
I'm done. Yes.
my question, which I'm not
No,
asking
go ahead.
questions yet. My question is, if it comes up that we, on the policy of moving $9 million to build a new school, and some is thinking, okay, well, we'd like to do all this other project, which is gonna be $6 million out of our budget, then all we have to do is vote no on this one policy, and then move down and vote yes on the next policy, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, if this money, no, I done spoke. I spoke twice.
I got one more.
Okay,
What I want to say about it is, what do the policy say? Are we out of order on our policy?
yes.
I'd like to see our policy, and it needs to go back to committee and see if we change it. I won't do what's right by TSBA on our policy and go
Well-
forward. I know it's our policy.
I'm not speaking, I'm just clarifying something. We, as a group,
Yes.
voted on this procedure. It's in our policy. This is what we decided. Okay?
My side is we need to go back to the policy if we're gonna do any changes, not now. That's my opinion. We've got a policy out there, how can we change it? Think about it. We got a
Really?
policy. We go by policies,
The motion's kind of out of order,
but that's
but I
mine.
was gonna let it ride this, you
I
know,
was saying.
I understand the conflict, but our policy strictly is this, right, that is, if you notice every meeting, you'll get the same procedure. It's that way every time according to the policy. And
I
that
talked with
policy, if you're looking in the parliamentary procedure, if we have a policy, our policies trump that book. Okay? Just tell you up front. So we have a policy 1.405, I think it is, and under rules of procedure, and then we have rule number 1, rule 2, rule 3. I think it's rule 3 under that policy, under procedure is this right here. this format. I would like to stay with this format. If we start jumping around every meeting, you know, it becomes
We're not gonna have.
disorganized.
I call for question.
Questions been called for. I do have to do this, okay? Some of you have not used your 2 times at bat. Does anybody else want to speak? You have to be given the opportunity. I know you've only spoke once, you won't,
Comments.
and I've done twice, or 3 or 4 times. Okay, Josh, I don't know if you spoke once. Okay. All right, so, we'll put the question. Talks on what the question, I have to repeat it. The motion, you correct if I'm wrong. The motion is to move from section 7, budget amendments, A, B, and C, to number 6, in section 9, new business.
Yes.
Okay, that's the motion. Now then, yes, if you vote yes, that moves things. If you vote no, then it stays like it is. All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand signifying yes. We have 2 yes votes.
Or
3, sir.
just because of a certain situation.
Do one now, do the other one. Never mind. Okay. So we have 3 yes votes. All those who oppose the motion, raise your right hand. And we have 4 no votes, so the motion fails or does not carry. So, going back, approval agenda, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
Mr. Jorgens makes the motion, is there a second? Ms. Nancy seconds the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll put the question, and all those in favor of the motion to approve the agenda, raise your right hand. Okay, we have 5 yes votes. All those who oppose, raise your right hand to approve the agenda. And we got 2 no votes. All right, next on the agenda, is the consent agenda. The first thing we have to do, are there any corrections to the minutes?
I approve.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Now, keep in mind, that includes those 2, right, field trips. All those, did you say, I didn't get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Good. Okay. Motion been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 7 yes votes. And the motion carries. Committee reports, we don't have any. Budget amendments. All right, if you would please. Budget amendments, we'll look at them individually. What I have done in the past is basically shorten things down. So is there a motion to approve budget amendment number 7 in Fund 141?
So moved.
Do you think? Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Jordan, second. Mr. Solomon, you made the motion, you get to go first.
I ain't got no comment, cause I'm trying to say, well, I can't say, but
No.
I just think the parsley, and I'm just gonna,
Okay. Okay, the floor is open for any more debate. Anybody? Yes, sir.
As I said in the work session, I don't want to repeat myself over and over and over again. I just feel the needs are there. Russ Strong should be treated equally. It needs AC, whether it needs it now or in a year or in a half a year, it needs it. I believe that 3.1, I believe for some reason, there are certain sentiments on this board that want to take as much of the fund balance and put it towards a new school at the expense of Russ Strong and the energy needs that we have right now. So I feel that everything that has to do with the energy program and the cutting back of it is being done for the purpose of transferring as much as possible to the earmark account for the new school. And I do not believe that we should sacrifice Russ Strong or any school for that purpose.
Anybody else? None? Hearing none? Put the question. All those in favor of the motion to approve budget amendment number 7 in Fund 141, raise your right hand. Signifying yes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 yes votes. All those voting no or against the motion, raise your right hand. 3 no votes. And the motion carries. Next is budget amendment number 8. Is there a motion to approve budget amendment number 8 in Fund 141?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I so move that motion.
Okay. Mr. Jonathan has made motion. Is there a second? Nancy second. Mr. Jonathan made the motion. You get to go first in the debate.
I just feel like this is the best way to go. We've debated, and we've debated, and we've debated. Some of the comments that's been made, I don't agree with them, but I'm not gonna say anything else. This is my priority.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
My
Wait a
only,
minute, would you,
No,
I
go
just
ahead.
saw you
No,
first.
thanks.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
my only question is, and don't take this wrong, I'm not calling no names, I'm looking straight at you, okay?
Speak. You have a right to speak to anybody else.
$9 million is great. I want to build this school as much as anybody here. But now my question is, if we vote to put this $9 million to the side, to build a new school, it cannot be used for nothing, correct? Except for the school. Am I correct?
You're asking me a question. Are you
Yes.
kind of asking me?
I guess I am.
Okay. So that's gonna be in a reserve account, and we have access to it.
What would happen if something
Well,
comes?
I mean, we can, at any time, we can go into that account and take whatever we need or want to out of it. You follow me? It's not,
It's
it
under,
doesn't have, okay, let her answer you.
if I,
Yes.
it's a committed reserve, so that just means you all have committed those funds for that purpose.
Okay,
Now, there could always be another motion down the road that you move those reserves for another purpose, but there's already $1 million set aside.
yes.
So this 9 would make a total of 10 million. I just wanted everyone to be aware of that before you vote.
Now, back to my question, is if one commissioner makes this motion, and I don't know if I can call it name or not, I mean, I have no idea. Would that commissioner have to be the one to go back in to change that, to pull that money back out to use for something else?
Mhm.
You,
I'm not parliamentary.
No, that's what I meant to do.
My understanding,
okay. So, okay, repeat your question. What are you,
My and I can't call names, right?
Call my name.
If the commissioner made a motion to put $9 million in to build a new school, okay, and it's voted on that way. If we needed something down the road, an emergency come up, and we needed part of that money, would that commissioner have to be the one to say, I make the motion to pull this money back out of this, or can anybody make that motion?
Anybody?
We,
I thought the ones that voted no for it can bring it back up.
The only
I don't understand.
thing that involves that is if you want to reconsider your vote. Let's say you vote on this motion, and before I say the motion carries, you can reconsider your vote if you voted in favor of the motion. In other words, you can change your vote from yes to no.
That wasn't my question.
I know, but I'm explaining it to everybody. That's the only time that you're restricted. That's the only time that I'm aware of from reading that book. I know it's not answering your question. That I'm aware of where you, on the yes vote, can reconsider their vote. But if you, in any case, any other motion, like putting this in a reserve account, if you decide, if you vote against it, that's what you're asking, I guess. If you vote against it, can you then turn around, even though you're a no vote, and make a motion to take money out of that? Yes, you can.
If I voted for it and it passes,
If you voted for it
okay,
or against it, you can
it
make
passes.
a motion to go in there and take money out.
Later on, if emergency came up, is what I'm asking.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
Yes.
that's all.
Amend it,
Okay,
or change it, or,
that's all I need to know.
or pull
I
partial.
mean,
You know.
you're not, there's no restriction on how you voted
Right, well, I mean,
tonight
that was just my
that would
question.
reflect what you can do in the future.
If it was voted in, and we have it sitting here, and something happened at, Newmarket that we had to have $5 million. Can we go
Anybody
in
can
and
make
pull
the
it?
motion to go in there and take it.
That's all I need to know. Thank you, sir. Answer.
Well, I try to make it harder than it really
Yeah,
was.
it's, yeah, I know it's gonna.
Did I do a good job?
You did great.
Right. All righty, you've got one more. Any other discussion? Yes, sir, you were next.
I would have to disagree with what you said unless we have misunderstood something in the past. I understand that a motion made 3.5 years ago to build a new Jefferson Elementary School, that only those people who voted yes to vote Jefferson Elementary School could vote to rescind that vote and to change it. I don't see how this would be any different. That unless,
Can I,
let me finish, please. If you vote yes to put this money in, then based upon that precedent, only those who vote yes to put this money in can vote, can bring a vote to take that money out, to change
okay,
it.
can I?
Now, yes.
Okay, you asked me that, and I gave you that answer, and then after I gave you that answer, I went and read this big thick book, and I found out I was wrong. So, does that clear things up?
Okay.
Anybody on this board can bring any motion back and put it on the agenda. The only person that has to have voted yes if they want to reconsider their vote, okay, on a motion right then or later. See, that's where the confusion was. They can bring back like a motion made tonight. If you voted yes for that motion, you want to change your vote, you can bring it back. Say, only the yes votes can reconsider their vote, no votes cannot.
That's what I'm saying. So,
But just to reconsider your vote on a motion that you're involved in. You wanna change your vote. What you're asking is a totally different thing. Can you bring the motion and put it on the agenda to build Jeff Elementary and Piedmont? Yes, you can. That's not reconsidering your vote. You didn't even vote for it,
Right, that's right, I did.
but you can bring it back.
Well, let me, you know, so if we vote yes to transfer, let me put it this way, if we vote no to transfer the $9 million from the fund balance to an earmarked account for a new Jefferson Elementary School, even though we voted no now, we could.
No, you cannot. Only yes votes can reconsider.
That's my question. So if we.
Only yes votes can change their mind.
Okay, now, that's exactly what I was trying to get to. So only if we vote yes on this now, can we bring it up for reconsideration in the
You
future?
can change your vote.
Change the vote.
It might not necessarily change the outcome,
Oh, no, I understand that.
but I would have to do a little research on that. Most people, like sitting right here, and you voted, and you raised your hand,
Yeah.
and you voted yes, and all of a sudden you realize you didn't want to vote yes. Before I say the motion carries, you can then reconsider your vote and change it to no.
Yeah, during the same meeting.
Yeah,
I'm talking about in the future.
I'd have to check on that one.
Well, so how can we vote now on this if we don't know if we're in the minority, that we can bring it up in the future? And take that money
You
back
can, you
out?
can bring the motion back. What I'm saying is, I don't know if you can bring it back for the purpose of changing your vote. You can put it back on the agenda for another vote.
Okay, well, all right.
So you're reconsidering your vote.
Yeah, I understand the reconsidering part.
And bringing the motion back
Right,
is two different things.
okay. Well, let me kind of move on to my other comments on this.
Sure.
Okay, to me, taking money that we have available for us now to use for whatever, virtually, all right, and earmarking it like we did the $1 million about a year ago for a new school, we have no idea when or if it's going to be funded by the county commission. To me, it takes that option of using it for what, an emergency or what we may need it for, takes that option away from us. We are committing 2/3 of our fund balance to a specific purpose without knowing if that specific purpose is ever going to be approved by the county commission. I don't know why we would want to tie our hands that way. All right, we have no idea when or if the county commission will approve funding for a new school. We've already tied up $1 million for the year. Luckily, we haven't needed it because we have plenty in the fund balance. All right, why we want to tie up 2/3 more of our fund balance for something that is unclear as to when it's going to get approved? Wouldn't it be better to let the money remain in our fund balance and for us to exert fiscal discipline, all right, and have it accessible if we need it? Why would we not send a request to the county commission first? If approved, all right, well, we would let them know, okay, we have $9 million here, we're willing to put and commit to a new school, all right? Based upon the new estimate we got from Lewis, that's $26 million, and then Tommy, I believe you said the soft costs that they didn't include in that would probably bring that total package up to about $29 million, is that right? About $29 million
29 to
total
30 million.
to build a new school.
Right.
We take us, let's go with the 30 million, using an even number. We go to the county commission, said we need $20 million for a new school, and we have $10 million. We've got $1 million already in the new account, the account earmarked for a new school, and we're willing to put another $9 million in if you give us the 20 mil. They say yes, then we put it in, but up to that point, we have access to it. To me, that would be the way of doing it. Getting approval from them, letting them know if they give us the approval, we have this much in the, we're willing to put it to earmark for a new school, and then earmarking it. Up till then, though, we would have it available to us in case of emergencies to use. I don't know why we'd want to lock it up indefinitely without knowing, when the new school funding would take place. I'm done.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it my understanding, county commission said we have all this fund balance and we're not using it, right?
Yes.
That's why they wouldn't do anything. I've sat here 3.5 years with a motion on the board, that I came here to build a school. And we gotta do something, we gotta move forward some way. At least if county commission is telling us we don't have the money, we have the money, now we're trying to do something and we're backpedaling. It seems crazy. So, and we've never even said about rush-run HVAC. I never even heard of that. And suddenly y'all are playing on people's heartstrings about an HVAC issue. If we have fund balance and there's a heat and air issue at a school, why haven't we heard about that to fix it? Right? So, this is just pandering for somebody to agree with what other people are saying. So, I mean, we're still gonna do the energy project, at least start with the 8 million, and then maybe we can add to that if it works great. We don't even know what this company's gonna do. So let's see, what if it's not that spectacular? Then we're not in for all of that. That's my opinion.
Mr. Chairman, question.
So you're already finished?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I guess there's two maybe questions here. If we approve this, does that then have to be approved by county commission? I'm saying that because I remember that other budget amendment got.
It's a budget amendment, it has to go to the budget committee.
The second thing, the whole HVAC with Rush Strong and stuff was in the perfection thing. That it's not like something that's just sort of, it would now be took out of the 11 million one that we originally voted on. So, but I'm along the same line as Doug. I don't like the idea of taking 9 million out and then putting it over here and saying we're not gonna touch it, especially when you're gonna need, if there's 1 million there, you're still gonna need 20 million more dollars somewheres. We can do this perfection thing, the 11 million, get those things fixed right now. That's my thing. I'm done.
Yes.
My second question, I guess you'd say.
We're on an hour system, I can't count that now.
That was my question to start with, is if we put $9 million inside to build a new school, and it come down where Rush Strong had to have these AC units of $3 million, we can go back in and pull $3 million out of this $9 million, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
and you can do it even if you vote no against it.
Okay. If we had to have it, we can pull it out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm after. I'm saying, we're gonna set it here to be used, to build a school. Letting the county commissioners know we have $10 million to build a school. But if we have to have $3 million, we have to have that $3 million. Then we can pull it back out. Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
We've sat here and talked about this for a long time. We elected Tommy as our school director.
It's just
Tommy has been presented these numbers. He's come up with the best that he can come up with to supply the needs of our county. If we cannot trust what he's recommending, and we as a board, as an individual, wants to tell him what to do, and then we vote on what this individual tells Tommy to tell us to do, we're going the wrong route. We're going the wrong route. He's elected, they've been with the perfection group, they've come up with the numbers that suit our budget and suit our recommendation, so I'm in favor of going with it.
If I may, some quick statement, and, paraphrasing Nancy, the motion to build a new school has been on the books longer than the energy project. So to me, it's still there, and it tops anything else that comes in afterwards. So that, I'm done on that one, just point that out. It's been there longer. Any more discussion? Hearing none, I'll put the question. All those in favor of amendment number 8 in Fund 141, raise your right hand, signal with a yes vote. And we have 5 yes votes. All those who are opposed to this amendment, raise your right hand, and 2 no votes. And the motion carries 5-2. All right, next on the agenda is amendment number 4 in Fund 142, which is a federal fund. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion been made. Is there a second? Nancy, second. Any debate? Yes, sir.
Question, clarification, what is FRC employee paid? What does that FRC mean?
Family Resource Center.
Family Resource Center. Okay, thank you.
We'll type that out next time.
Fine, thank you.
I see what you mean.
Any more debate or questions? Hearing none, put the question. All those in favor of the amendment to approve budget amendment number 4 in Fund 142, raise your right hand, signifying yes. And carries 7. So the motion carries with 7 yes votes. All right. Now then, the next one, you just had 4, right? Okay. Is there a motion to approve budget amendment number 4 in Fund 177, Educational Capital Projects Fund?
So, I make a motion.
So moved. Get that wrong. Is there a second?
So moved.
Danny second.
Danny.
I saw him first, yes. So we have a motion to approve budget amendment number 4 in Fund 177. Has been seconded. Is there any debate or questions of the finance director or the director of school? Not me. I didn't know what that meant either.
It's a good
I'm
question.
glad he looked at you.
I was glad he answered it.
I made something up. Any discussion, questions? Hearing none, I'll put the question. All those in favor of budget amendment number 4 in Fund 177, raise your right hand, signify yes. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. All those who oppose or no vote, raise your hand, yes. And the motion carries 5-2. 5 yes, 2 noes. All righty, hurry right along. Under new business. Right.
That's a.
I got to put it in the wrong place. Okay, I got you. All right. Like I said earlier, it's motion, debate, and so on. Wait just a second. I want to use this kind of, I've been very confusing tonight, I know, about these things. I asked to bring this motion back and put it on the agenda. Did I vote for it? I think I did. It doesn't really matter. So when a motion comes back to the agenda, you can only do two things to it: rescind it or amend it. Right, and anybody can do that. So if there's a motion, you can ask to have it put on the agenda, and once you put it on the agenda, you either make a motion to rescind that main motion, or you make a motion to amend it. Does everybody understand? So now that, with that said, I would like to, I move to amend the main motion by deleting 11,820,000, another decimal, $11,820,141. Delete that and insert $8,394,000. Now that's the motion, that's an amendment. And when you, most amendments involve usually deleting and then inserting, simplest form. So, I've made the motion, is there a second?
I second.
Okay. Mr. Jargan has seconded the motion. So the motion on the floor is to amend the main motion by deleting $11,820,141 and inserting $8,394,000. Any discussion? I have none. I've talked about it before. Anybody else? Anybody? Hearing none, I'll put the question. All those in favor of the amendment to the main motion by deleting $11,820,141 and inserting $8,394,000. Now I'm getting all those numbers right, correct? All those in favor of the amendment, raise your right hand, signifying yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yes votes. All those who are opposed or voting no, raise your right hand. And there's 2 no votes. So the amendment passes. So now we have a different main motion. So if you don't mind, I'll make the motion. I move to approve the energy project totaling $8,394,000 as presented from the Perfection Group. Is there a second?
I'll make a second.
Okay, I made a motion on that. And Bill has seconded. Again, I have no debate, no discussion. Anybody else? Hearing none, I'll put the question. And the question is to approve the energy project totaling $8,394,000 as presented from the Perfection Group. All those in favor of this signify yes by raising your right hand. 2, 3, 4, 5 yes votes. Excuse me. All those who oppose, raise your right hand. And we have 2 no votes. So the motion carries. Now then, number 2, we'll move past that since the amendment number 8 passed. So next is fundraisers.
Yes. Go ahead. Can I make a motion?
Well, sure.
I make a motion to include in next year's budget fundraiser money equal to what the school have for previous ways. You want to see it?
Yeah, I'll need to, because I'll need to. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay, have a second. Mr. Solomon, you go first.
I just think that y'all didn't hear me, talk about it, and I just think we need to go forward with that. And I think that helps the school and principals. I think it helps everybody in the community, and we go forward.
Any other debate, discussion, opinion?
I like the idea, but when you say the amount here, how would that be
Fair.
like equally
Yeah,
distributed? Do we need to add that to the motion, or?
Yeah, so we do that anyway with
Yeah.
a lot of things. So what we do is take that total amount of money, divide it by the number of students, and give a per pupil allocation to the school.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems fair. Thank you.
That was my question.
Yeah. So,
Actually, we take a cut off the top.
yeah.
That's good. Just kidding.
That's a good point.
Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Now, this would still allow if they chose to do some fundraising, correct? And then I'm gonna agree with you. It is so hard to run out and hit the pavement when you got kids begging for money, you got, and teachers spending a few $1,000s on classroom materials. And then you get turned down, and then in the society we're living in, I would hate for a child to go peck on the door and somebody drag them home in there. That scares me. So I totally agree with getting this funding there so that they don't have to, but if they choose to do it in the way, that's still fine, but I like to get the money to them, whether or not I have to do it, do all this.
If I may, make a suggestion, about, we need a policy. We need a strong wording, and like what you're saying, I agree with this also. But at a ball game or something like that, you can set up a booth.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, but see, we can have that and spell it out in a policy. A policy, strong words. Now, that's a really, this is a good motion because that gives them, if it passes, some idea of what to be looking at in the future. But I think maybe the policy committee should take, and we may have a policy in place, I don't know. I haven't memorized all of them yet. But if not, maybe we need to spell it out a little bit more.
And just in conversation, my thought on this is that the board would want to do away with the school's big fundraiser and that sends kids door to door with items or brochures, and schools would then be limited to things like maybe a PTO penny drive or something that is more in-house, and this would not affect high school softball, baseball, football type events,
Right.
just
So
K
you
through
put
8
all that
schools.
in a policy,
Yeah.
teams,
I agree with you on the policy. I think it should be.
so we will, any more discussion? Yes, sir.
I think he had it, Bill had said it first.
Okay.
Would this affect our fall festivals that they have at school in any way? It wouldn't affect
No.
them, would it?
No.
Okay.
Basket auctions, those type of things.
I'm just wondering if it would help if we put, indicated that the fundraisers we're talking about would be mandatory, what has been mandatory, and still allow voluntary fundraisers? Would that clarify it?
You talking about going door to, well,
Well, first of all, let me ask, when we had the candy bar drives and all that, is every student required to participate in that? Is that mandatory?
No.
Okay, well, then you've answered my question. Thank you.
okay, yeah,
My question,
yes, sir.
like they did the candy drive, a lot of kids really enjoyed it. I'm not saying they don't. I kinda hate it because they end up buying big candy bars. But anyway, is this gonna stop the candy drive? Or can they still do it if that's what they wanna do?
If we want to allow it,
Yeah, they can do it at ball games themselves, and
You gonna have 100 kids at the ball game?
well, I don't know. They can do it at a booth or something like that, or ball festival, or whatever. They have a game or whatever.
My question was like, if little Joey sells 4 boxes of candy bars, he gets to go, what was it they went this year? I don't know, they done something.
Main event.
Something like that. That's what a lot of these kids enjoy. And now, don't get me wrong, I think it's great. I really think it's great that we match what we have, what they raised this year. But I'm just saying, if some of the kids still wants to do it, do we stop that? So we still got 400 kids that's gonna sell candy bars, if that's what they wanna do. But, I mean, we're just saying we're gonna,
Well, my thing on this,
that they don't have to.
yeah, my thing on this, if little Johnny goes to Fun Day for 2 hours and Bob goes for an hour, and a kid that's don't work at, don't serve, I have seen that before.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know, I have seen it and you have seen it. People always came, well, why don't my kid get to go with that? All right, but they do, well, they sold this, well, a lot of people don't understand that. They can't afford it. They got 4 or 5 kids and this, you know, I ain't saying cutting it all out. I'm just saying that we can help not let the kids go to door to door, safety, stays in the house and helps the principals, help the staff, that they know that on Tuesday we got a game we set up for this candy sale.
So even if.
Mr. Post, we need.
Oh, okay, excuse me.
We're wandering off. Let's go back to the motion,
Yeah.
okay? And we can later come back and touch on this and get into a policy and those kind of things. Any more discussion focused on the motion? Good discussion, you know. Hearing none,
I got some.
oh, okay.
You said, I think somebody brought up about how would the money be distributed, and I'm looking at these numbers right here. If you do it per pupil at a school, somebody like Talbot here raised $12,883. They're a lot smaller than White Pine, who raised $7,660. If you do it per pupil, you're gonna be taking away some money from the smaller places that raise a ton of money right here. I mean, I don't know if there's a,
Oh, I see what you're saying. I think what we would look at is taking, so what you see in the 22-23 line is the school's highest amount, or right there at it, and we would give them those funds.
okay, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, yes, I see what you're saying. So it wouldn't be a per pupil, that's how we do some things.
Yeah, okay.
But Talbot would get, they would get this amount in the 22-23 line, if approved. And, you know, the thing is, this still has to go to budget.
Yeah.
You know, it may be that we pass this tonight and come April, I'm like, listen, there ain't no way. We could give the school some, but there's no way we could do $122,000 or $134,000. So, every intention has to be funded.
Start somewhere.
Yeah.
Any more? Hearing none, I put the question, and it is to include in next year's budget fundraiser money equal to what schools have previously raised. All those in favor of this motion, raise your right hand, signifying yes. And it is unanimous and the motion carries. Hand that over to Rhonda, did you? Okay. Okay, we're down to item number 4. Is there a motion? Yes, sir.
I move that we advertise for builders to submit to this board cost estimates for major repairs / capital improvements needed at Jefferson Elementary School. Estimates are to be provided at no cost. No commitment to proceed with this project is implied by either party. Estimates are to be received by noon, February 16th, 2024.
Is there a second?
Say,
Did you get that?
I got it.
Yeah, I probably did. You lost me. Okay. The motion has been made, that we advertise for builders to submit to this board cost estimates for major repairs / capital improvements needed at Jeff Elementary School. Estimates are to be provided at no cost, no commitment to proceed with this project is implied. Estimates are to be received by noon on February the 6th. We have a motion that has been seconded. You're up to the plate.
Okay, one of the obstacles that the county commission cites in not approving new school funding is that they have repeatedly asked for pricing breakdowns and other options and have not received them. It's the main reason that I introduced a motion last meeting for a no cost, no commitment estimate for building a new pot at the high school. Again, it was not to go down that path, it was to satisfy the request of the county commission. That is why I'm making this motion today. Let me reiterate, we are not voting to substitute renovating Jefferson Elementary School for building a new school. We are not doing that. What we are doing, we are making this motion to find a no-cost estimate for information purposes from experienced professionals to find a no-commitment estimate free of charge from experienced professionals and to try and remove a roadblock with the county commission who have requested that we present pricing options to them. I don't understand why this body would not want this information if it's free and if we're not making a commitment. Objections were raised last meeting when I tried to add to the agenda that a vote was taken 3.5 years ago to build a new school, and as long as that vote stands, we cannot explore remedies to the Jefferson County Elementary School problem. All right, and yet, when our own funding request for construction was denied by the county commissioner a year ago, we received an estimate and solicited an estimate for remodeling Jefferson Elementary School. Louis Skanska provided that to us and said it would cost $250. We voted that we would take that if, in fact, county commission would pay half. They said no. So because we were told that Louis and Skanska was the only ones who could provide that kind of an estimate, we dropped it. In the meantime, we've received a letter, or excuse me, an email from our attorney stating that we can use and accept estimates on any project if we so desire. So that objection about using anybody but Louis and Skanska to give us an estimate for remodeling Jefferson Elementary School is no longer valid. So at this point, we can use an estimate. We have set a precedent that we will look at estimates for remodeling Jefferson Elementary because we were willing to do it Louis and Skanska. We now know we can look at that, set a precedent. We now know we can get that estimate from anybody who's willing to give it to us if they're willing to give it to us free and with no commitment. Why would we not do that to get more information? Whether we use that now or not, at least we'll know what kind of repairs need to be made there. We'll need to know what it would cost. And we're not making any commitments to do it, and we're not paying anything to get that information. So, I'm saying that we should do this, A, to fulfill a request from the county commission, to clear another roadblock out of the way so we can get on with building a new school, if that's what, we want to do. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I understanding when you and I came on the, Danny, I'm gonna say your name. When I came on the board, I thought there was a renovation estimate done by Lewis Group. Was that my understanding? And,
Can I answer your question
sure, you're the chairman.
specifically? The first estimate we had for a new school, I think was 1990. And then the request was made for a remodeling and a renovation or whatever, and I believe that number was 17.9. It's $2 million difference. That's all I'll say. And it was given to the county commission, that number was, because they requested it.
And it was my understanding that county commission didn't like the estimate because it wasn't thorough enough, right? Something to that effect, is
Yes.
that correct? So how thorough can a free estimate be? I mean, they're gonna be looking for the job, this is my opinion, they're gonna look for we're gonna want the job, so they're gonna give a low estimate. And then, if you award them the job, y'all know what's gonna happen. And I think Skanska, it's my understanding, we are almost right on budget with Skanska and Lewis Group right now at Piedmont. Which is unheard of, right? Especially right now with how construction prices are. I'm not against a renovation estimate. I think you're throwing good money at bad. You still got an old building. You got the perfect situation. You got land. You build a new school. You still got kids. And I remember when I came on the board, it was, there was also a presentation about building a whole temporary school. You want to get people mad. You say that portable word in this county. You'd be building a portable school to renovate this school. And then there was the whole lunches issue. It's not as easy as I mean, you got the perfect situation right now to build a school. You have land, it's unheard of having land. And being able to not miss a day of school and those kids walk into a brand new school. And then you got land to sell or do whatever. Something. Just my opinion. I understand your point, Doug, but
Mr. Chairman, I got a question, and maybe some of you folks that's on the board have been on here longer than me. Prior to the building, or, how I'm gonna say, the renovation and stuff with Piedmont and Jefferson Elementary, the other two schools that were built for that was Patriot Academy and Mount Horeb, right? Who was the one that contracted to do that we contracted to build those schools?
Lewis Group, Patriot Academy, and what's the name?
Coke.
Coke
We had
was,
two different entities.
Coke was, Mount Horeb.
Okay.
We had the same, I believe, the same construction manager, Rittenbach. I
Okay.
believe is the one.
Second thing is, but it's getting old, but to me, no cost, and it's not that we're saying we're gonna do it, it's just so the county commission, that they've got other options besides Lewis and Skanska to look at, which I feel like they have maybe an axe to grind with them. I don't know, but maybe, just, it's a free, no cost, and and there's no strings attached to it. I mean, it just seems to me that'd be okay, that's just me. But thank you for the answer on the other stuff.
Yes, sir.
I received a call last night from a former employee of Jefferson County Schools. He asked me the question about building a new school. I said, that's our motion. He said, this talk of remodeling and all, he says, it's a waste of time. He said, Bill said, you've got to get a job, remodel. I said, we're gonna remodel a school. What are you gonna do with all the kids? Where are you gonna get the money to put the trailers back over there? And all of that. We can get a price to remodel that school, I'm sure, and it would be $17, $18 million. That's just the remodeling. what are you gonna do about all these other costs? Trailers, what are you gonna do with the kids while they're remodeling? You gonna leave them in there? It's more to think about than just saying, let's get a cost on how much it costs to remodel that school at no cost. Well, I can go over and tell you how much I could remodel it for, but I guarantee it wouldn't be right. We paid $125 million, or $1,000, to get us looked at all these schools in our county. And they told us from day one that school was the worst school in our county. It needed to be replaced. We've argued, we've talked, we've come up with ideas, and we're sitting right here tonight, no further than we were 10 years ago. It's disgusting.
Corey,
Just a quick, you know, I'm like one of the commissioners here. I want to see a new school. I really do. I'd love to see a new school. If we was to get 3 estimates of what it would cost to remodel, in them 3 estimates, I would like to know what it would cost for the flat tops to have to put out there for the amount of time. I'm not talking just to,
Where are you talking?
well, it's portable flat tops. Back in my day, it was flat tops, okay, I'm old.
That's right, you're relevant.
But, okay, excuse me, but, you know, don't just get an estimate of what it's gonna cost to remodel. I like to have an estimate of what it's gonna cost for these portables to be set out here for a year, year and a half, 2 years, ever how long it takes. You know, because we go in front of the county commissioners and said, well, we can remodel this for 16 million, and then we got another 10 million for all the portables out here. That has to go in front of them also. So if we can get all that estimate free of charge, I vote with you.
if I may, please. I'll speak to the bad word that she mentioned. When I came on board in 2010, that was our goal, to eliminate all the portables. And we got it done, except for the Jefferson
For the alternative school.
alternative school. But even that was upgraded with some of our old portable. I mean, it's not that bad. One thing you gotta remember, you know, we ran into a problem that we were not aware of. We had a bunch of portables. We owned some of them, some of them we were renting. So the ones that we were renting, we had to bring them back up to brand new before the company would take them back, etc. And then the ones that we owned, over at the Oakland Center, I think, and the alternative schools, we didn't put them to use. My big concern has always been is the size of classrooms. And I think some of those classrooms in the range of 700 to 750 square feet. I don't know if anybody can verify that number in here. It should, a classroom, to me, a minimum classroom should be at least 800 square feet and more. And to do that, I mean, you have to really talk about gutting the building. You have to really gut it. Does this free estimate include site preparation? You know, that's another expense. And you all talked about the portables. I'm sure we can move some students in the Jeff Middle School, maybe we could scatter them a little bit and that kind of thing, but we don't know that. The simplest way to get an estimate is take the square footage, 77,000 square feet, I guess, give or take, and multiply it by the market value at that point in time. I could do that and give you a number. But I would like the scope of the work. I mean, that building needs a new roof, all new windows, plumbing, electrical, and I'm not a person, I'm not allowed to touch nothing. I can change a light bulb, as long as I don't get on a ladder. Thank goodness I'm tall. So I don't know a lot about construction, but this building was built in 1958, and everything in it is, the fire, okay, what happens if we touch the building, the fire marshal? then the fire marshal shows up, and it's just like when we got in when Building 8 collapsed. And there was about $1 million more we were gonna have to do to Building 8 to open it back up again. And we had to sue the insurance company because they wouldn't pay for it. See, so there's a lot of ifs here on this. The foundation, that big crack in the corner of the gym tells me that there's something wrong with that foundation. Is the entire building going to have to be jacked up and a new foundation? We may get down to the point that the only thing left standing is the walls. And then we go work from there. I don't know. I don't get it. But my big sticking point is the size of the classrooms. Okay, I have nothing wrong with remodeling if it costs more, but the classrooms are just too small.
Go ahead.
And I'm finished. Yes, ma'am.
How would you, who or how would you pick the companies to give a free estimate?
Did she ask me that question?
Dr.
So-
It's a kind of rhetorical question. When she finishes, you got one more time.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just didn't want to answer
Okay,
right
yeah,
because
right.
I'm worried.
Well, I mean,
Would you
aren't
put
there
that in the category of a rhetorical question? You were not expecting an answer.
I mean, isn't everything else have to be out for bid and RFQs or RFPs or ABCs, or I don't know what the letters are, but isn't that what has to be done?
Mhm.
Yes.
And, what does that mean? Like advertise? What does that mean? Like advertise who?
Okay, you go ahead and talk, and I'm gonna let him know. As long as somebody's talking, we're still listening. But you
Because
go ahead and talk. He's got the
You
motion
said you
there.
have people that would do estimates, is what you said, free estimates, at last meeting. Right?
When you finish, I'm
Oh,
gonna call
that
on
was
him,
your
okay?
I'm sorry.
If he wants to speak, and I'm sure he does.
Oh,
I'd be disappointed if he didn't. Go ahead.
right. No, I presume that we would put this out, advertise it the same as we do anything else. We would ask people, you know, if in fact you would like to give us estimates, free estimates on this project. And that would be an RFI, RFQ, well, it wouldn't be for quotes because they're not quoting, they're, you know, giving us information. All right?
Be an RFP.
It would be RFP, so they.
Or
would be-
whatever, yeah.
Yeah, they would be
They
given
have
a
to give us a-
proposal
Yeah,
on some scope of work with a dollar amount.
okay.
But
yeah.
we wouldn't be committed to
Yeah.
choose one.
Yeah, without making any commitments. So the fact that I have people who've said if we send that out, they want to bid on that, that's what I meant. I didn't have estimates in hand. They said, if you advertise for this, we are interested. All right, and I said, at no cost, yes, with no commitment, yes, all right? And this whole idea about throwing good dollars at bad, we're not throwing any dollars anywhere. We're not talking about doing this project. We're talking about getting estimates on this project, okay? Secondly, all right, the portables, we can advertise this with any specifications we want. Say we would like to know about the foundation, we want, you know, cost on portables, we want cost on asbestos remediation, et cetera, et cetera. And if they don't want to do that for free, then we don't get anybody, you know, responding to it. We can make this anything we want. You know, we can, if we want to replace playground work or whatever, all right? We are not talking about remodeling, we're talking about getting a cost that if we were to remodel, this is what it would cost. You know, one of the board members said, well, he could go out there and give us a cost. Yeah, but he's not a professional builder. So that, you know, I'm talking about professionals. These are people who do this for a living. And obviously, if they send us estimates, they would have to send us proof of who they were, what they do, past project references, etc. all right? I just don't understand why we keep trying to divert requests for free information into, well, we don't want to do this project. We're not talking about doing a project, we're talking about getting free estimates and with whatever specifications we want in that, for free. You know, and without committing to them that we're gonna use them, or that we're even gonna do a project. So we're asking for information for free that people have said they're willing to give to us. Why would we turn something like that down?
Finished. I've got one more time to speak. I said I wasn't gonna speak again,
Do
but
it.
can't help myself. We have always in the past, and it may be in policy, I'm not sure, anybody that gives us an estimate, we interview those people. We go through an interview process, and we evaluate them. I think we did that, one Saturday, was it last year?
Perfection
Group won it, right? That was a Saturday thing. I've sat through those, they're not a lot of fun. Not saying, you know, I think we need to talk to these people face to face and be able to answer questions too. So that's just my opinion on it. Anybody else?
So,
You've done spoke twice, right?
Hi.
And you have.
I have spoke twice.
You've not.
that was my second. So, the motion has been brought up to get free estimates for portables and free estimates for the model and, but whoever comes up and will give a free estimate needs to come in front of the board to be approved before it happens.
Ma'am?
This is,
If we decide to go that way, if we decide to go the remodeling way we would.
We're just talking about a free estimate.
Yes, that's right, that's
I
all
mean,
that's.
what I'm saying is, the one that's gonna give us a free estimate before they give it to us, we still need to speak with to approve them to give it to us. I mean, that way, at least we know who they are.
We had to do it with
I spoke
Skanska,
twice.
and it was all them. That's how we got Skanska.
I won't say anything, but,
We got cookies.
can you read my mind?
Ham Goose. Right now.
Well, as chairman, let's deal with the motion that's in front of us, okay? And we can follow up with other stuff, all right? Anybody, that was as a chairman, not me individually. Anybody else want to speak? Come on.
I'm done.
Water's
I'm good.
I think everybody's doing.
Water's warm. All right, here we go. Hearing no more, I put the question, and the question is that we advertise for builders to submit to this board cost estimates for major repairs / capital improvements needed at Jefferson Elementary School. Estimates are to be provided at no cost. No commitment to proceed with this project is implied, and estimates are to be received by noon of February 16th, 2024. Everybody understand the motion? Okay, all those in favor of this motion, raise your right hand signifying a yes vote. And we got 1, 2, 3. Yes votes. All those who oppose, raise your right hand signifying a no vote. And we have 1, 2, 3. And the motion fails for the lack of a majority. Okay. All right, next on the agenda is the Director for School Evaluation. Have it.
So, within my contract, it states that the first year would be a July evaluation, followed up with consecutive years of a December evaluation. So that's why you see this in here again, as it'll go on a December cycle. very minimal changes to this, just maybe some formatting, percent of the, section, and, that's about it. I would, look at handing this out at the November, so if approved now, this would be it. And then it would be turned in December, sent off to TSBA like last time, and come back in January board meeting. I would, there again, opening up for, any conversations, set some time frames for you all, if you so desire. But we hope to have, data, but there again, the state's holding that up till, surely we'll have it by middle of December, middle of November, we hope, so.
So basically, we need to have this back, at the December 7th meeting. Right?
Yes, in the past, so you have approved the instrument,
Yeah,
so I would just need you all to approve
We
this
just-
instrument, or,
and then we get it to Rhonda. The lady is, I guess my question, the lady is December 7th, or bring
Yeah,
it back to central office.
that board meeting, yeah, the latest would be to hand it to her at the December
At the
board meeting.
December board meeting. And then if anybody wants to talk to you about it, they can call and make an appointment, and you will
Yeah, I'll set something up between
sit
now
down,
and
you
then,
can do that.
yes.
I don't think we need a motion on this.
Ever how you send it, yeah, you can send it to
Yes,
Rhonda,
this is
send it
what
to
you-
me.
Right.
Yeah. I don't care. You-
Yeah. Use the
whatever
one
you
that's in
choose,
here.
we'll learn from it.
Oh, I'm still in charge, okay. All right, moving on, school commissioner input. Floor's open, ask for the floor, one at a time. Same thing as at work session. Yes, sir.
I'd like to congratulate Mr. Bridgewater and Director Arnold on the renovations that I've seen done. For example, the repainting of Maury Middle School makes it look like it's 12 years younger. You know, I think they're doing a fine job, and I just wanted to mention that I've been very, very happy with the maintenance that we've done in-house. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, I agree.
I'm not thanking you, I'm thanking you.
I agree with that they're doing a good job. Me, not so much.
On that note too, I would like to set something up
I like it.
in the next few weeks, to be at, Piedmont, for you to put your eyes on it, if possible. There again, that doesn't have to be, I plan to do it two ways. First of all, we'll do a daytime event, and then we'll turn around for, and do like a 5 o'clock or 5:30, for some of us that are not like Bill and Coach.
Did you get our plaque for, Miss Bree Jean?
I've not got that yet, but my plan is to have that whenever we, finish the project,
And the
and,
board present it to the school or something?
yes.
Anybody else? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? All in favor, leave the room, please. Quickly.